here it is, straight out of the styrofoam bag, which is over there. Nice. This is nice. Like that. Very good. Very good. Turn okay. Yes, didn't expect anything else. And we have tags. Hang tags. Good. Always keep this stuff in my case, as well as the goodie stuff too. Keep these things in the case too. All right, now, how high is this action? For me, it's pretty high. So I'm going to spend some time today and just really, not that this is bad. High action guitars will have phenomenal tone. Oftentimes when you lower the action, especially if it's like too low, of course, when you pluck the string, it'll bang on the fretboard and it'll reduce your tone. So for the tone folks out there, higher action is probably preferred for sound and sustain. Okay. And low action, I personally like low action. I'm a light picker, so I don't really attack my guitars. And it's okay if you do, it doesn't matter. There's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say, right? Of course. There's no right and wrong here. Although a lot of other people would like to think otherwise, but there isn't. Okay, when I move this, definitely scratchiness, right? Didn't expect the frets to be polished. As a matter of fact, confessions here, I don't always like the frets polished. This sounds so counterintuitive, but it seems like the rage is, the guitar has to have polished frets. Makes it feel really silky, and it does. But when they're rough like this, I think you can even hear this on some Hendrix recordings. You hear that scratchiness? And for me, it adds some treble to the guitar, especially when you're bending them. So I don't mind that. And I don't mind if the frets eventually get kind of polished, if you will, or that grindiness gets worn down with my playing. I kind of like that. So that's just me. I don't mind unpolished frets. Of course, as long as they're not too bad. But I've never come across one that's pretty bad. This is probably as quote-unquote bad as I've ever heard, ever felt. And I'm going to keep it just like that. So let's get to work. First thing I'm going to do is take off the film. Pickguard on the pickguard cover. Let's take the knobs off. A way to do that is just put a pick, slide a pick underneath each knob, and then rotate and turn each knob and apply some upward pressure on the pick and the pop cover. We'll come right spot off. We can grab hold of the film. This corner is good. The other spot is over here. Right, since I got this started, this is a very thin film here. It's breaking off. Let's just get this going here. It'll also get caught under the screws, so you can go back and loosen the screws and get that film off, hanging there. Some guitars I've left this on, and I hate to tell you this, but although I like to keep them in original condition, including with this on, but it does discolor the pickguard. Oftentimes, it will discolor the pickguard. Take this cap off. Now you can see what I mean. You can also loosen these nuts here if it leaves some behind, and probably will. Let me finish the job and I'll be right back. I tend to want to keep these because they do change over the years, and sometimes it's, I remember they used to put that on there. You have that reaction from some people. Let me use both hands and just get this out of here. Be right there. Now, put this back on. If this is loose because you took it off, just put a little piece of paper in there, very small piece of paper. I would drape it over this and put this down on top of it. You'll never know it. You can still remove it. Then it's nice and snug. I still may do that with this because oftentimes the first time you pull it off, you loosen them up. Okay, we'll put the knobs back on. So I want these all full out. And now I want to line this up. And I want the 10 to be over by this screw right here. That's my preference. And usually that is where they are put on in a factory around that area. Just right there. Push down. Because this guitar's bridge is not floating, it's really solid on the body, I am going to flip the guitar over, take the spring cover off, and loosen the springs. And here we are with three springs. So let's go over here. Of course, this will require retuning. And I want to turn these counterclockwise. Lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. This is the end of the line for me. I'm not going to go any further because look at what's happening. These pieces, this piece and these pieces here that hold these springs here, are rising above the surface of the body. Look at that. You know what that means? It means the cover won't go on. So let me take a spring out. I'll be right back. Because I've loosened this so much, these springs don't have too much tension on them. So I'm just going to unclip this one and take this out and keep it. The bridge effectively is still, let's check it. It's hardly what I would call floating. So let's look for another solution. If you find that the action on this is very stiff, what you may want to do is raise each one of these. This particular model, this particular bridge has, of course, 6 screws here. And because I had the strings off, there's no tension here. So watch this. See the front part of it? There's some space, you know, some play there. I want to address that play and put some of the screws, well, put all the screws really, you know, or adjust them a little bit lower. Low enough to take out some of that slack, but not tight where it becomes, you know, a very stiff unit once again. Now, an easy way to do this is to do the outer ones, and that will give you a guide for the rest of them. Now, notice the difference. I screwed just the outer ones down. Just this one and this one. Not hard. Not all the way. Just enough. And now what I want to do is lower these down so they're just touching. And let's see what happens. Well, we did definitely notice the play is gone. Now let's take a look here. No play. No slack in there. And, you know, it's pretty loose. Looser than it was when it first came out of the box. The new strings are on. The tremolo arm is not going up as high as it was earlier because this is now floating. We'll look at this in the back here. Sorry for the camera angle here. One moment. There you go. All right, here we are. It's floating. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little gap here. I like the little gap because I don't... I'm such a stickler. But I don't like this. I don't mind if it's resting on the body, frankly, as far as playability is concerned, because it does work like a hardtail at that point. But I like to have the option if I want to just go up a little bit. Especially on these types of guitars that don't have locking tremolo systems, because sometimes this little pull up like this will pop it back into the tuning. Whereas if it's resting on the top of the guitar, you don't have that option. The tools that came with the guitar, let's put them to good use. Let's sight down the neck. Okay, we see some relief. And it's in, can't reach down that far with one hand, but it's in this area over here. Now, the first thing I like to do is take the relief out. I like my neck straight. So what I'm going to do is insert this tool here into here, and I'll do this off camera, and well, wait a minute, maybe I don't have to, and turn it this way. I like these long handles, by the way. That's really, really handy. And we're going to sight down the neck again. And the relief is disappearing. And I like that. And I just did a quarter turn. And that looks like it did it. Looks like it did the trick. Let's check how much relief is in the neck. When we sighted down this way, looked very good to me. I like to put my first finger here, use the low E string as a straight edge. If you want to use a straight edge, no problem, that's fine. Again, there's more than one way to skin a cat, but I find the low E string as a straight edge is just fine. First finger there, pinky over here. My right hand, I'm right-handed, and then I tap over here, and I want to hear just a small tap. That's a big tap, something small. And for me, it was just ideal. It was perfect. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to play the guitar. And I'll just pause here for just a minute before I do that. Most people go for this right away. They go for the bridge right away. Last thing, that's the last thing to do. Very, very last thing to do. Because people, you know, it's not wrong, but it's just... It's more complicated if you go to the bridge first. Because, you know, the logic is, oh, it's a string height. Must be this. Do your neck relief first, and then do your bridge. I played the guitar. It's not bad. For me, I like the action a little bit lower. So now I am going to adjust the bridge here. And I'm going to turn each one of these 1/4 of a turn. Here I've got the other hex wrench that came with the guitar. No, put that in right in here. You can go either way with this, you know, short ways, long ways. I like the long way myself, but that's just me. And turn counterclockwise, 1/4 of a turn. Now you want to do this for each one. I started a little unorthodox here. Let's go over to this one. 1/4 of a turn, and so on down the line. One of these have been counterclockwise turned, so these saddles are lower than they were before. And of course, the guitar is out of tune. You have to tune up again, and then play the guitar, and see how that feels. To tuning up and playing it, I find that the action is still a little high for me. Okay, I did lower these, another 1/4 turn, so half turn altogether, half turn on each one of these. And for me, the action is just very, very, very nice. Let's plug it in and see what it sounds like.